So let's move to the protagonist.
But what about the protagonist?
Well, you mentioned that the protagonist is needs the director, otherwise he will never.
They come to psychodrama because they have no direction
Yeah.
in their life.
Mm.
That's very clear. And because, there's something else. Because psychodrama is an expanding world. Their lives are fairly narrow. And once you work in psychodrama, life changes. It's not only that you expand, the world expands for you. That's why people are so fascinated by it.
And why we take, for instance, protagonist and we don't talk about antagonist?
I'm very glad you mentioned that, because that's one of the very things I have complained about in the German literature, that they use that word. Why? We're not a military organization. This is not a battle we're doing. I just told you about this girl with the boyfriend she lost. Was he an antagonist? Is talking with your mother about your rights being antagonistic? It is establishing your rights. Moreno never used that word. Don't forget, we are working on relationships. How can you build a relationship with an antagonist? Besides, this auxiliary ego is putting themselves at your service. Is that an antagonist?
Mm.
He gives you his hand, you give, the protagonist takes a hand and said, come into my world. Is that antagonism? That's entirely false, that concept. It has no relationship to psychodrama.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wrote an article, a note about that to people, to the Germans. It's hateful. It doesn't belong. You've been protagonist. Have
Yeah.
you felt other people as in your drama as antagonists?
No.
Of course not. There are other people you're trying to relate to, for God's sake. That should be scrapped. No way.